Hello everybody, Germ here, and I am mentally diseased. So, the recent Caleb and Sophia propaganda from Jehovah's Witnesses asking children to donate their money to Watchtower is still fresh on our minds. You may have seen it already, I've even made a video about it. But what I did not know is that Watchtower usually accompanies these videos with a children's activity. I was alerted to this on Twitter today, and I just had to talk about it. I mean, check this out, this is crazy. Make your own contribution box at home. This is literally the activity of the month for JW children. So after seeing this, I had to go back and look at what other activities they've brewed up for their kids. Most of them are pretty harmless. I mean, we have, be good in the ministry, become Jehovah's friend, love Jehovah's house, etc., etc. But I had to see if they had done an activity related to their famous anti-gay video.
And you know what? People can change. That's why we share his message.
And what do you know? They sure did. Jehovah's marriage arrangement. First, watch the video, then read Genesis 2:24. What other married couples can you find in the Bible? Color in the ones shown below. So we have 3 examples here of one man, one woman, and below that the question, has Jehovah's standard for marriage changed? Well, let's see. So Noah's family were the sole survivors of an apocalypse and apparently repopulated the world with lots and lots of incest. I'm pretty sure God's stance on that one has changed. Joseph and Mary, I guess they're fine as long as you forget Jehovah's earlier standard that a woman who couldn't prove her virginity before marriage should be stoned to death. But, whatever. Aquila and Priscilla, that's a weird one to pull out of nowhere. I mean, do kids even know who Aquila and Priscilla were? What's interesting about that choice in couple is that those two were famously equals. There was no head of the house in that relationship. Priscilla was not his property. They were always mentioned together, and actually, Priscilla was the first female in the Bible that taught another man. Yeah, wrap your head around that one. In fact, it's rumored that she authored the book of Hebrews, and that her credit was omitted to suppress the female authorship. So, judging by the head coverings and the currently imposed rules on Jehovah's Witness women, I'd say his standards must have changed there too, I guess. So, yeah, gotta answer that question there with a yes, Watchtower. Jehovah's standards for marriage have indeed changed. Several times, in fact. So they do actually have another activity encouraging kids to donate. This one is actually related to the ice cream video, where Sophia donates her money to the organization rather than buy herself an ice cream cone. So this one's a maze. Complete the maze to help her get her coin where it needs to go. Over here. It needs to go over here to a corporation, I guess. And we can help you do it. Look here. You can make your own contribution box at home. So the common opinion here is, look how sleazy and desperate this organization is. Like, how much lower can you get than trying to squeeze money out of little kids and then have the audacity to brag about not having a collection plate? And I do agree with that opinion for the most part, but I think that it's actually even worse than that. I don't think that squeezing money out of kids is the real goal here. What they're doing here is training. They're forming a habit. Sophia's money doesn't make a difference to them. What matters is that she walks into being an adult with a habit already formed of giving Watchtower her extra money. To illustrate this, let's look at this tin can craft activity and combine it with the ice cream video. So when forming a habit, you target 4 stages of a want-reward cycle and lay out a set track for people to follow. I used to work in corporate training for years, and we used a lot of these exact same methods when trying to modify employee behavior to get them to do what we wanted them to do. I am telling you now, corporations are indistinguishable from cults, and Jehovah's Witnesses are indistinguishable from corporations. The 4 stages in a habit loop are cue, craving, response, reward. In most cases, the reward itself is not the problem. It's the response to the craving that you wish to modify. In order to do this, you identify what their cue is, pinpoint what they want, then find a way to modify their response while still satisfying reward to get the behavior you're looking for. So we see here Sophia's cue is that she has some extra money to spend. Great. What does she want out of the reward? The obvious answer to that question in this context is that she wants an ice cream cone, right? Wrong. She wants to spend money. It doesn't matter what it's on. Anyone who's experienced a windfall of money knows this. You get your tax refund back, you just want to go shopping. You don't know if you want to buy a new TV or a car or just take the family out to dinner. You just want to spend money. That is the reward. Now we take a step back from the habit cycle and ask ourselves, what response does Watchtower want? Well, of course, we want those windfalls of money to fall our way. So, how can we shift this? Right now, Sophia's response to getting money is to run out and spend it right away. How do we modify that response? We set a goal system in place. If she makes her own contribution box, she'll be more excited to use it. Putting the money in the box will temporarily scratch that itch of putting her money towards something, and the accumulation of money throughout the month will build her anticipation of the actual reward. The fact that she doesn't get anything out of her money is irrelevant. Remember, the reward is to spend money. If a lot of people around her exclaim and commend her for loudly dumping a box full of change into the contribution box at the end of the month, then that's probably enough, especially in a culture like this where so much revolves around gaining the approval of others. If she successfully completes the cycle enough times, she will eventually develop the desired habit of setting aside all of her extra money for Watchtower at the end of the month and grow into adulthood with it. That's when it really matters, and Watchtower will have successfully raised someone that they won't ever have to guilt into donating because they just do it. And as an added bonus, if the kids are donating every month, the parents are probably going to do it too. I mean, you can't get shown up by your dang overachieving preteen girl. So with all that in mind, I think it's really disturbing that there's so many parents that are perfectly willing to let a religious organization into the minds of their children and manipulate their behavior.
We love you very much.
I mean, these parents mean the best. They obviously trust this organization and trust that they mean well in whatever they're doing. But I really wish they would analyze everything that's being fed to their children, no matter what the source is, and ask themselves, who is this really benefiting? It's good to teach your children to save money, but what good is that going to do your child when everything they saved is packed up in a box and disappears at the end of every month? How is that going to help them buy their first car or get into college or find a home, leave the nest? Oh, right. I forgot. Armageddon is coming. What do I know? Carry on. Thank you for watching. I'm Germ. If you like this video and you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you next time.